Frank and I have been together for 4 years and been building this. You know, the expectations are high, and we accept that. And we won't, I won't sit up here and make excuses of why we got our ass beat in Jacksonville, because that's what happened. We got our ass beat. It happens, but we got our ass beat. And, and it's magnified because of the moment. The moment was big. It was for a playoff spot, and it's one that, as a team, we thought we were good enough to win, and at the end of the day, we didn't. When we made the decision after Phillip retired, and we made the decision to make a move on Carson, at the time of the decision, we felt good about it, and I still don't regret the decision at the time. Just sitting here today, just so y'all know, I won't make a comment on who's going to be here next year. That's not fair. That's not fair to any player. I thought Carson did some good things, and there's a lot of things that he needs to do better. Our passing game has to be better.
That Chris Ballard could have said that any better, to be honest with you, Michael. That was, listen, it sounds like Carson Wentz is already on the clock. That the Colts are in the market for a quarterback upgrade after surrendering a first and third round pick to Philadelphia to reunite Carson Wentz with Frank Reich. But I thought that was as measured and honest and frank a response as he could give. And understandably so. Michael, I spent this morning, I didn't watch it last night, I watched the finale of Hard Knocks. Phenomenally compelling. Couple of takeaways was one, the Colts were not the least bit surprised about what happened. They spent all week preparing for and trying to guard against exactly what happened again to them in Jacksonville. Yeah. So it wasn't a matter of overlooking or taking somebody lightly based on their record. That wasn't what it was. Number two, they needed somebody, especially on offense. Buckner was hurt on the defensive line. The defensive backs were hurt. They needed somebody on offense, ideally the quarterback, to take everybody by the collective collar and lift them up when they needed it most. But Carson Wentz was incapable of transcending the circumstances because, Jacksonville, to their credit, shut down Jonathan Taylor. Number three, I told you Jacksonville was better than their record was. And you didn't disagree with me on that. They beat Buffalo. They beat Brian Flores' Miami Dolphins team in London. They competed hard as they had for most of the season in spite of their former head coach, Urban Meyer. And number four, most important, as a life lesson, I watched this and I watched the fallout from it, and I watched them really not wanting to hear all the cliches from Frank Reich. This was the end of the Colts season, but it doesn't have to be the end of their story. They could end up having an amazing story, and this could just be the middle part. This could just be that inflection point for them, where with the right moves, they could be where we expected them to be this year. But that's the right optimist in me talking.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good, but they can make the right moves, but they don't have the right guy at quarterback. Look, and we talked about this earlier. Carson Wentz is proof, is exhibit number one or exhibit number two. Carson Wentz is proof that the numbers don't necessarily tell the story of how well you did. Carson Wentz's numbers, if you weren't paying attention to the season, you just step back and you look at those numbers and say, man, those numbers are pretty good. Low interceptions, decent amount of touchdown passes, 27 touchdown passes.
27-7, I think, yeah.
Looks good. He had a season like that before in Philadelphia. But this was not good quarterback play. Carson Wentz, this is why they're not committing to him. They can talk all they want about, hey, getting better and improvement, and it's not fair to the team. They're not committing to him because they know what he is. And what he is not a starting quarterback for a championship team. Philadelphia got it right. I thought I was critical of Philadelphia last year.
You were.
I was critical of them. Because I said, look,
hey, Carson's a problem,
but I did. And there are some other problems throughout the organization. And I even said, hey, there's some teams out there who need quarterbacks. You can do worse than Carson Wentz. Not much worse. You can do worse.
But okay, now we roll reverse. Now we roll reverse, Mike, because I don't know if that's entirely fair to Carson. And, I'm nothing if not fair. They got their ass kicked as a team. Okay, Carson Wentz is low-hanging fruit. Carson Wentz already had a target on him.
He was bad.
No, he was.
He was bad the week before. And the week before he was bad.
Yes, they lost to 2 teams with interim coaches. There's a handful of quarterbacks who can elevate above their circumstances. Carson Wentz just ain't one of them. The circumstances failed, offensively and defensively, and special teams for that matter, in that finale.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.